Hi, welcome to Boundaries Now. I hope you are continuing your healing process from dealing with a narcissist in your life. And this is a topic I wanted to discuss today about cognitive dissonance. If you're unfamiliar with the term, I'll try and explain it the best I can, or you can look it up in the dictionary. It's basically holding two conflicting thoughts at the same time. So in other words, you're thinking about all the ways that the narcissist shows that he loves you or she loves you, and then they do something very confusing, which throws everything out of whack, and your mind is just boggled, and you can't figure out if that was really something intended to hurt you. Do they care about you anymore? It just is a red flag that causes a lot of confusion, and a lot of covert narcissists love to do this tactic. It's an abusive tactic, and it can literally feel like crazy making. As most of you know, because you're in this process along with me and everybody else that's watching these types of videos to learn more, you know that in the beginning, the narcissist is great at love bombing, whether that means lots of emails, text messages, phone calls, good mornings, like good morning texts, and all this stuff, and gifts, roses, whatever they do. And then all of a sudden, as time goes by and they start to see that you're falling for them, then they'll throw that little monkey wrench, or whatever that saying is, into the mix, and they'll throw a derogatory remark, or they'll give you a little put down and then act like it's just a joke, or say that you're too sensitive. This kind of hair, again, it did this in the other video too, sorry, it just drives me crazy when I see it. But it just makes you doubt their love, and you just can't figure it out. You try and explain stuff to your friends, and they're never going to really get it unless they've experienced it themselves. But let me tell you, it is really an abusive tactic. It is a way to control your mind, and it does cause crazy making, unfortunately. So what I did that really helped me, and I know it sounds kind of stupid because a lot of people say to do this, with writing down the negatives and the positives in your relationship. But let me tell you, it really does help, because I don't know if you're like me, but in my mind, I kept thinking, I don't need to do stuff like that because I already know I'm experiencing it. What's the difference with me thinking about it versus writing it down on paper? But it is true. When you put it down on paper and you actually read it, it just changes everything. It really puts it into reality. And another thing that really helped me was I had to step back and pretend that this was somebody else's list, like a family member that I cared about, or a friend that I cared about, like as if this was their relationship, and I was reading their negatives and positives about the person that they're in a relationship with. What advice would I give? That was an eye-opener, because I've always given great advice to friends and family about, if they're being played a fool, or, maybe they're being too hard on somebody, and to ease up a little bit. I've always given fair advice, and for some reason, when you're the one actually in it, it's different. So taking myself out of the equation and looking at it as if I was the one giving advice to somebody, that's when I realized how bad the relationship actually was. And we really basically didn't even have anything in common. We didn't have any interest except two things. One being we both enjoyed good food, and two, I will just leave that to your imagination. But other than that, we really had no interest where we could actually form a bond together. It was a lot of wasted time. So I suggest that if you're in the beginning phases of this relationship and you're already having cognitive dissonance, run, get out, save yourself a lot of time and energy of guessing this relationship. It's not even going to be worth it. I could almost guarantee that. If you're dealing with a narcissist, we know I can guarantee that it won't be worth it, but that's for you to decide as you do more research. And if you're already in this process of knowing that you're dealing with a narcissist, and like they say, if you're researching it and curious, that's pretty much a dead giveaway that you are dealing with a narcissist or an abuser. So continue your research, continue journaling, staying up watching videos at night really helped me before I went to bed, to just learn as much as I possibly could on the topic of narcissists and narcissistic abuse. So I wish you well, and I hope this helped a little bit. If you have any questions or you want me to talk about any topics or you want to share any stories, please feel free to contact me with a comment below, and be sure to like and subscribe because I am going to do a lot more videos. I'm just now getting used to all this, so bear with me, and sorry if I repeated myself in any way. I probably did. I do that even when I'm not recording, so bad habit of mine. But sometimes it gets the point across too, so sometimes it's a good thing. Anyways, I wish you well in the healing process, and I look forward to getting some comments in the near future.